Today's video is for all you guys looking for a bit more of an immersive flight sim experience, so we're going to be looking at the Beyond ATC add-on, which is a really nice tool if you prefer to fly offline, or maybe you're not quite ready to make that leap onto VATSIM, or maybe you just want to practice your phraseology. So Beyond ATC has recently had an update, and as you can see we've got a pretty packed apron here in Manchester, and that is their traffic injection which they recently added, and I can tell you it is night and day compared to what we have in the base sim, which is pretty terrible, let's be honest. So straight away the airport just feels more alive, and we're going to be taking a flight from here in Manchester up to Edinburgh with full ATC, so we'll see how we get on talking to controllers, tuning frequencies, getting our clearance and all that kind of thing. So let's hop inside the flight deck and get started. Okay, let's open Beyond ATC then. There we go, and the first thing I want to do is click the little headphones at the bottom right, and we can check our frequencies here in Manchester. And I have the ATIS tuned on the first officer's side to 128.180, just in the standby frequency. Then on the captain side we've got our clearance tuned, which is 121.705, and then let's pre-tune our ground frequency to 121.855. So there we go, so that's all ready to go. And then we've also got our tower frequency, our departure and centre as well. So that's all the frequencies for Manchester. Let's tune in our ATIS and get the latest information.
Manchester Airport Information Romeo, 1207 Zulu, wind 290 at 11, few clouds at 1400, scattered at 2800, ceiling 3300 broken, temperature 06, dew point 04, QNH 09901, VFAR conditions, landing runway, 2 tree right, departing runways, 2 tree left, 2 tree right, transition level 060, numerous cranes in operation around Manchester. Advise on initial contact you have information Romeo.
So we've got information Romeo, our QNH is 09901, departing runway is 23 right, and our transition level was 6,000 feet. So let's speak to our delivery controller and get our clearance. Manchester delivery, good morning, Easy 107 is Airbus A320 on stand 10 with information Romeo on board, request IFR clearance to Edinburgh please. And there we go, now it's processing my speech. You get the 3 dots, that means it's working, so let's see what it comes back with.
Easy 107, Manchester delivery, thanks for information Romeo, expect runway 23 right, pole 5 Romeo departure, squawk 0046.
And there we go. I really like that feature with the coloured boxes. It lets us know exactly what we've got to read back. So let's read back our clearance. Expect runway 23 right, pole 5 Romeo departure, squawk 0046, Easy 107.
Easy 107, read back correct. Contact ground 121.855 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Contact ground on 121.855 when ready for push and start, Easy 107. And there we go, we've got the grey tick, so it's understood our read back okay. So let's add our squawk into the transponder, which was 0046. There we go. And we can now switch our frequency over to the ground controller, just so we're ready to request our push and start. Right. Let's get our beacon on, which will spark GSX into life, and we'll also pop our APU on. So let's get the APU master on, wait a couple of seconds and hit the start button. Now let's just take a look at GSX in action as the tug connects. Here it comes, and it is best to wait until the tug is fully connected before we request our push and start. And that's the same as you would do if you were flying on the VATSIM network as well. It just stops any delays or any controllers getting grumpy with you. Right, that is the tug all connected then. Let's request our push and start. Manchester ground, good morning, Easy 107, stand 10, request push start.
Easy 107, Manchester ground, pushback and engine start approved, face south.
Push start approved, face south, Easy 107. And there we go, so that is our pushback and engine start request approved.
All aircraft be advised, information Sierra now current, QNH 09901.
And the latest ATIS information has just changed to Sierra. We're still current on the QNH 09901, so that's all fine. Let's get GSX fired up and we will continue pushback, and we need to face south as instructed, so we'll click that.
Release parking brakes, please.
And parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines are clear. Start at will.
Okay, ignition mode to start, and we will fire up engine 2. And we'll just monitor our pushback for a little bit. Listen to those engines firing up. Very nice. Oh, forgot we have the wing walkers now. That was a recent GSX update, wasn't it? That's pretty cool. And just going back to what I was saying earlier, with the Beyond ATC traffic injection now, the apron does look way more alive with all those EasyJet planes lined up, so yeah, really happy with how that's looking. As we turn in now, wing walker's doing a great job. And we've got that absolute beast of an Emirates A380 on stand next to us as well. Superb. Right, let's do a quick takeoff checklist then. So auto brake set max, signs are on, and cabin advised, give them a quick call, and ground spoilers need to be armed, so we will do that. And we need to be flaps 1 set, and we'll just wait for the cabin crew to give us a quick call before we do the takeoff config. There we go.
Hi Captain, the cabin is now secure for takeoff.
So the cabin is all secure. Let's request taxi from our ground controller. Let's just get Beyond ATC open again. Easy 107 request taxi.
Easy 107, runway 23 right taxi via Lima, Papa Kilo Juliet.
Taxi to runway 23 right via Lima, Papa Kilo Juliet, Easy 107. There we go, we got the tick, so readback is correct for our taxi. So we can now do our takeoff config test, which is this button here. So we've got ECAM memo green, no blue. Everything's looking good down here. Parking brake released, a little bit of thrust, and we are away. So as you can see, Beyond ATC has handled our clearance, pushback and taxi pretty flawlessly, to be fair. I am very impressed with that. And as I mentioned in my intro, if you're not quite confident enough to jump straight into VATSIM, this is actually a really good training tool just to get yourself used to, you know, speaking to controllers, getting your clearance and all that kind of thing. So yeah, definitely recommend giving it a go. And what I'm going to do now is break off until it's time to hand off to our tower controller. So we'll catch up again as we're approaching our hold short for runway 23 right.
Easy 107, contact Manchester Tower 118.63.
Okay, let's acknowledge our handoff then. We'll just bring it to a halt at our hold point for 23 right. Contact Manchester Tower 118.63, Easy 107. And there we go, so let's tune in our tower frequency then. So 118. We'll just scroll that around, there we go, decimal 630. So we'll just wind that in all the way. There we go. And then we just swap that over to the active channel. Manchester Tower, Easy 107, request departure.
Easy 107, Manchester Tower, wind 290 at 11, runway 23 right, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 23 right, Easy 107. Okay, we are all good to go then, so if we hop overhead and we'll just give the cabin crew another bong, make sure they know we're all ready to go, and we'll get our strobes on runway turn-off lights on, landing lights on, and we will switch our takeoff lights on. And then finally we just need to set our transponder to TAR8, and that's all on, so that's good. Okay, let's get ourselves lined up then. You don't need too much throttle to get us going. Pretty much taxi's on idle, but we'll give it a little bit just to get this turn made a bit more quickly. And what we're going to do is look out of the first officer's window. Once we see the runway centre line, we should be able to turn in and line up pretty much bang on.
All aircraft be advised, information Tango now current, QNH 0991.
Okay, so the information has changed to Tango now. QNH is still the same, 90901, so that's all fine. So let's just, oh, that wasn't the best, was it? Let's just line up a bit better. There we go, and I'll just bring it to a halt. We're going to hold it on the brakes. So 40% thrust, and downward nose wheel pressure on the side stick. Brakes released, and the thrust levers to the flex detent. Not quite sure what's going on there. I might have to recalibrate my thrust levers. There, oh, there we go. So that is now in the flex gate. And that's 80 knots. And V1 rotate. That's a positive climb, gear up. Now let's get the autopilot on, AP1 engaged.
Easy 107, contact Scottish Control 128.055.
Okay, so let's acknowledge that handoff then. Contact Scottish Control 128.055. And if we hop back down to our radio, we can get that frequency tuned as well. So 128, there we go, decimal 055. So we'll scroll that up to 055. There we go, and then transfer that over to the active frequency. Let's check in with Scottish Control. Scottish Control, Easy 107, 2,500 feet, Pole 5 Romeo departure.
Easy 107, Scottish Control, good day identified, climb to flight level 130.
Climb to flight level 130, Easy 107. Okay, so ATC has given us clearance to climb to flight level 130, so we don't need to follow any constraints on the SID or anything like that. So we are well on our way, we're in open climb, and I think what we'll do is wrap it up there for today, and we'll complete our flight in the next episode, where we'll take a look at how Beyond ATC manages our descent and landing down into Edinburgh. So there we have it, that concludes my first look at Beyond ATC for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I am really impressed with how it works. I definitely recommend it, not only for practicing your ATC phraseology, but also for the added immersion you get, especially now they've added the traffic injection. It does really make a difference to being on the ground. But that's it for today. Be sure to join me in episode 2, where we'll complete our flight into Edinburgh. If you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.